Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to the Detroit Tigers as we try and fix this team to somehow get ourselves past the wildcard series. 5 out of 6 seasons now we've been knocked out in the wildcard series, and the other season we didn't make the playoffs. So it really is a bit of a glass ceiling for us and we just need to try and get through there. And the issue as I see things, and I think from the comments and Discord we sort of are all in the same boat, pitching is just the issue. You can see here last season the batting stats were phenomenal. They really were the best we've ever had. But then we go down to pitching, which used to be so reliable for us, but runs against, we were 15th. Starters ERA, bullpen ERA. The bullpen, for once in my life, is not my problem. It's my starting pitchers, and that is... it's just so disappointing. And of course, Jacob deGrom will not be around next season. His contract is up. We will not be paying him $9 million a year to keep him as a bullpen pitcher. So yeah, there is a lot of work we need to do. But before that, we need to wrap up this season with our end of season awards. So we'll be right back to do that. And then we'll find out who's won the World Series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Detroit Tigers End of Season Awards. Thank you Detroit, thank you everybody, thank you, and welcome to the Detroit Tigers End of Season Awards. It was another season of just, like, why do we bother? But the players tried their best, I suppose, so injuries didn't help. So let's give them all a big round of applause and hope for next year it's, well, I'm glad we bothered. Well done guys though, you did your best. So the first award this evening is for most wins by a pitcher, and well, this has typically been deGrom territory, but as we know, deGrom has shriveled away into a shell of a being. So this season, with 14 wins, it is Andrew Walling. The next award is for the highest batting average, and we could give this for the winner of the American League Award, not just here at the Tigers. It was a stunning season of a .334 average for, he feels like one of our own, really, doesn't he? Congratulations, Riley Greene. The next award is the Golden Bullseye, awarded to the player hit most by pitchers this season. And this guy, new to the team this year, and well, he came in, he hit home runs, and pitchers didn't like it apparently. So congratulations, the Golden Bullseye goes to, with 21 bruises, Keston Hiura. The next award is the Golden Anchor, awarded to that player who drags the team down by grounding into the most double plays. And we gave this guy a full season to show what he could do this year. And boy, oh boy, did he show us what he could do. 17 double plays hit into. Congratulations, Tony Vega. The next award is the Golden Boot, awarded to the pitcher who has issued the most walks. And, well, we didn't even give this guy a full season in the majors. Imagine what he could have done if Toledo didn't get gifted his talents. 57 walks. Congratulations, Griff McGarry. The next award is the Golden Glasses, awarded to the batter who has struck out the most. And, well, this season, this guy and the guy that came runner-up, both our top 2 strikeout victims set club records, first and second all-time. That is very special indeed. But the winner, with 202 strikeouts 209 strikeouts this season, congratulations, Tony Vega. So, Tony, you struck out 209 times. You hit into 17 double plays. Remind me again why I ever picked you? Oh, unbelievable. All right, the next award is the Golden K, awarded to our pitcher with the most strikeouts. And, I mean, our pitchers instantly at a disadvantage this season because they didn't face Keston, Hiura, or Tony Vega. So it made life a lot more difficult for them. But our guy still managed to notch up 202. Congratulations, Josh Eknes. The next award is the Golden Broom, awarded to the man who sweeps clean the bases, that man with the most RBIs. And, well, this guy, it's not the first time we've seen him up here tonight. He led the American League with 117 RBIs. Congratulations to Mr. Double Play, Mr. Strikeout. He's also Mr. RBI, Tony Vega. The next award is for the pitcher with the lowest ERA, and well, pitchers and low ERAs this season in Detroit didn't really go hand in hand, but this guy, as ever, just does a wonderful job for us. An ERA of 2.77. Congratulations, Holden Powell. Now it's time to acknowledge the man with the most home runs, and we did have one or two injuries amongst our power hitters this season, but there was one guy that was constant throughout, and the end of the season with 49 home runs. Congratulations, Tony Vega. And now it is time to award the horse's ass for this season's worst player. And, well, it wouldn't be right to let this man leave Detroit without getting him up on the stage at some point this evening. We paid him a lot of money this season to deteriorate into a shell of a man. Congratulations, Jacob deGrom. And now it is time to acknowledge this season's best pitcher. Historically, it has been Jacob deGrom, but not this season. Now, as ever, there is a formula we use to determine this award. That, along with a list of tonight's winners, is down in the description below. So in third place with a score of 24.78, wish we had him for the postseason, Will Klein. In second place with a score of 30.1, it was Andrew Walling. But the winner, with a score of 30.33. Very, very close indeed. Congratulations, Holden Powell. And now it's time to acknowledge the best hitter. And again, we do have a formula we use to determine this, which is again in the description below the video. In third place with a score of 38.5, it is the center fielder, Kyoto Takazawa. In second place, and you wonder if he could have got a little bit higher without these injuries, with a score of 38.9, it's Shohei Ohtani. But the winner, and the biggest miss I think at the postseason, with a score of 67.9, congratulations, Riley Greene. And now it is time for the big one to acknowledge this season's MVP as voted by you, the fans. And we had two nominees. I want to thank everybody who nominated and then took the time to vote. But with the votes tallied, 80% of them went to this man. It is my personal frenemy, Shohei Ohtani. Well done, Shohei, and to the rest of the winners this evening. So that brings us to the end of our awards for the season. Like I say, a bit of a case of what could have been. If we can tighten up the pitching next season, then there is a very good team hidden away here somewhere. We've just got to find it, and hopefully we can do that this winter. But thank you for everybody who was here in the auditorium. Thank you for you watching at home. Enjoy your off-season. I'll see you all bright and shiny next season at Comerica Park. Good night, everybody. Thank you, and good night. No, DeGrom, you're not getting a contract extension, mate. Don't be ridiculous. So end of season awards are done, and the New York Mets are your World Series champions. As a Mets fan, that makes me very, very happy indeed. The Guardians were the ones that got all the way there from the American League. But yeah, that is happened, and we've had a little bit of change already at the club. The first thing is out has gone our manager. Not that I thought he did a terrible job this season. It was more that he wanted control of the hitting coach and the bench coach, which I didn't really want to give him. Now, I would love to sign him back as something, but I just wasn't quite willing to give him the complete control. Maybe I should have. Hitting focuses power, but this is the issue. I don't know, and if you guys may know just from experience, I don't know what effect the manager has on all these things. If he has a general influence on everything, in which case I've made a horrible mistake, or is he more, it's just his tactics and it's the hitting coaches and all the other coaches that take care of this stuff. So yeah, if you know, I would love to know, but I'm just not completely sure. But like I say, if he actually is involved in the coaching, then I have made a horrible mistake and I should have just let him keep or choose the coaches that he wanted. Now the other thing that has happened is Contreras. He has signed a new deal to stay with us. He was going to be a free agent, so he's 27 years old. He has signed a 3-year deal, $7.3 million a year. I think that's okay. I think that's a fairly good deal for us. at points showed himself to be quite good. Certainly in the postseason he did. So let's hope that he carries on his postseason form, and the regular season was just a little bit of a one-off. But that is everything that has happened. I should show you the new manager, I suppose. This is in here, Stephen Lurid. Now, he has been coaching in our system. He's done a very, very good job, albeit at obviously lower levels. But I do like he's aggressive with his base running. He lets me control who I hire. Yeah, and he favors hitting and power, which is what we have right now. So it made sense to go with him for that as well. So yeah, we'll see how he goes next season. He's only on what's he on, 185,000 a year. So if we have to bin him off, it's not going to cost us an arm and a leg. All right, so off-season has begun, and we do have a few things here to catch up on. The first is our goals for next season. More or less, we did what we were supposed to this season, it looks like. Improve the team's runs against, which is obviously what we want to do. Achieve a winning record. Sign Jacob deGrom. I can assure you I will not be doing that. Acquire a Gold Glove Award winner. Now, we have one already in our shortstop, so I don't really know, and I think our catcher has as well, Hunt. Increase attendances. I mean, that's fine. And reach the World Series in the next 4 seasons. So next season is the 4th of those 4. So pressure's on, I suspect. In terms of signing Jacob deGrom, I mean, he just wants a lot of money that I'm not really wanting to pay to someone who's going to sit in the bullpen. So no, I'm sorry, Illich, but I'm stepping my foot down. I'm not signing him. New season budget. We have 170 million, team payroll of 120 million. That means right now we have 3.5 million more or less for free agents, 6 million for extensions. How we'd like me to re-sign deGrom for that is interesting, given he wants 11 million. We've got some personnel leaving, which is absolutely fine. There's no one leaving that we particularly wanted to stay. And this means, of course, that we have arbitration. So let's go and have a look at who's up for arbitration. So we have Gunnar Hogland. He was a useful man to have around, especially for 1.3. Walling for 5 million is worthwhile. Basso for 2.2 is probably worthwhile. Marinaccio for 2.8 is worthwhile. We can trade them if worst case scenario. Holden Powell is definitely worthwhile. Mike Ruff is definitely worthwhile. Indigo Diaz for 1.9 is probably worth keeping. Gillespie for 4.4 is probably worth keeping. Klein for 4.3 is probably worth keeping. Hunt and Nido. I mean, they're not. That's not huge wages, is it? So no, that's probably worth keeping. Xavier Edwards for 2.2 is probably worth keeping. Riley Greene, I think he's a free agent at the end of this season, so 21 million is a lot. I wonder if we can sign him to a sort of an actual contract, because I think this year is probably his last year of arbitration. So if we were to say do 8 years, we've got 27 million with him taken into account for extensions. What if we did 8 years at 20 million and we give you 2.5 if you manage to get yourself MVP? No. Okay, well, we'll do that. We'll deal with it next season then. So let's go back to arbitration. Penengo for 1.4 is probably worth it. And Cabrera for 2.2 again is probably worth it. Crawford wants 14 million, I think. I don't know that I want to do that. deGrom, pending free agent without compensation. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. His time with us is coming to an end. And then I'll go through and I'll check the minor leaguers and we'll re-sign who we want to re-sign. So, yeah, that is that. Greene's going to be expensive, isn't he? But he led the league in batting average last year, so he's worth it. All right, we have some Major League Baseball awards. Now, unfortunately, I hadn't put it up to sort of get news from the entire world, so we just have the American League Golden Glove winners, which doesn't really affect us in any way, except for in center field, where Takezawa has won a Golden Glove. Now, hopefully, it's his first Golden Glove. Hopefully, that will satisfy the chairman or the owner that we've acquired a Golden Glove winner, because one of our players has acquired the Golden Glove, but we'll wait and see on that front. So yeah, excellent for him. Next up, it is Reliever of the Year. and that has gone to Camilla Doval of the White Sox. We didn't have anybody there. And on the National League side of things, it was Trevor Rodgers of the Mets that won that award. Next up, it is Platinum Sticks. We should have a few of these, surely. Okay, so here we go. We have Riley Greene in left field. We have... that's it. Well, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? I thought for sure that Ohtani and Vega as a designated hitter would have featured there, but in the end, it's just the one. It's Riley Greene, and I feel hard done by that. The National League side of things, we can see it there. Anybody that we recognize as a former player doesn't look like it. Next up, it is the Rookie of the Year. Okay, so Rookie of the Year is Owen Casey of San Antonio. What did he do this year? Batted 258. We didn't have anybody there. Mo Hampton Jr., who of course we traded to the Jays. He was second in the Rookie of the Year. And over on the National League side of things, Elijah Greene of the Pirates was the unanimous vote, more or less. Or actually, no, it was a little bit closer than that with Brady House of the Nationals. And while we're here, we have done a trade, and I think this is quite a good one. We have given up Isaac Pacheco. Now, he is a useful third baseman, good power, but nothing exceptional elsewhere in his game. So for him, we have got in, hopefully, our starting pitcher for ourselves in Brendan Gurton. Now, he was an all-star this year as a starting pitcher. If we have a look at his pitching stats, they were not fantastic until this last season. 32 games started, ERA of 3.88, ERA plus of 1.15, a WAR of 2.7. There was a lot to like about his season. He's only 25, so I'm hoping we've got ourselves a good player when all we've really given up is a sort of maybe a 4A quality, you know what I mean, third baseman. So, yeah, I'm hoping this works out nicely for us. So, Manager of the Year for the American League went to the Guardians manager, which is fair enough. And it was, I'm assuming it was, the New York Mets manager, Jay Bell. I think I remember him as a player. Anyway, he's won Manager of the Year for the National League. Next up, it is the Cy Young. And it is Dylan Cease of the White Sox who has won it ahead of Bieber and Loggerwell. And unsurprisingly, no one from us features in that list. And on the National League side of things, it is Ian Anderson of the Braves who has won it. And again, no one of note to us has featured in that. Next up, it is MVP. We might have one or two in the running. And in the end, it was Mike Trout who was one of the Angels, and Riley Greene was there. Ohtani and Vega were both there as well, but no one really got close from our side of things, which surprises me a little bit, to be honest. And National League, it was Tatis Jr. who won ahead of Juan Soto and Tina Turner. So those are all the Major League Baseball awards. Next up, I'm assuming we'll get to free agency. All right, so we have arbitration hearing. So let's have a look and see how we did here. Cabrera got what we wanted, 2.2. Greene got the 21 million that, we essentially were offering the same thing anyway, so that's not a problem at all. Nido got $1 million. He is not worth 3.5. I'd have been annoyed if he got that. Indigo Diaz got 2.1 million. Walling got 5.75 million, which I suppose is okay. He's good for us. Basso got a little bit more than ideally we would have wanted him to. Xavier Edwards got what we wanted. We got Holden Powell 2.5. Again, that is fine. Ruff got 2.2, which is fine. We got Gillespie on 5.5. This bullpen's getting a little bit expensive, and Klein as well at 4.5. We might have to give up someone in the bullpen here, I think. Marinaccio is up to 3 million. He's getting a little bit older as well. Hoagland got 1.3. That's fine. The new man, Gurton, got 1.8. Again, that's absolutely fine. And Penengo got 1.4. So all that being taken into account, with free agency just around the corner, if we have a look at the money we have to spend, it is nothing. So this is going to be fun, isn't it? All right, so free agency is here now. With the international free agents, there is somebody that takes my interest. It is this guy. I would very, very much like to sign him. The issue is that, of course, we have no money to sign free agents with, which is a problem. So we'll have to see if we can try and maneuver some money around to make this possible. It's only 23. I don't want to have him on too big of a money because he may well take a little bit of time to get going, if he does get going at all. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one a little bit, but really good stamina, and he can hold a runner as well. And as we begin to look to try and make some room for this, we have done a trade. So the $5.5 million a season man, Logan Gillespie, we have traded him to the Nationals. He is good, but we have Will Klein, we have Sawyer, we have Indigo Diaz, we have a few other guys that can come in late in games, and he was the top paid of them, 30 years old as well, and fragile, so he was the obvious one to me to look to move on. And we did a trade for prospects. The first man is this one, Juan Bustos, a decent, or a good catching prospect. So we'll see what happens with him. Hopefully, defensively here, his ratings will improve a little bit. But with the bat, I mean, that would be a decent hitting catcher for us. The second man is another hitting catcher. Again, not worse defensively, perhaps, but yeah, well, we'll just kind of see how he develops. And the third was very much just a make weight in the deal, a good defensive outfielder, not much of a bat there. But, of course, the good thing here is that there was no money coming in. We just were able to get rid of a salary. And, well, who knows? Maybe we'll get one or two really good players out of this as well. So I will go and have a look at free agency. Actually, we can all have a look at free agency together here. And we can see who is available. There is, I mean, there's some good pitchers there, isn't there? This is just pitchers as well if we go to all players. So we can have a bit of a better look. And yeah, I mean, Aaron Judge wants $29 million. Yeah, I mean, ultimately we don't have the money to get most of these guys. But oh, Liam Hendricks is available. That's the last thing we need, isn't it? It's another closing pitcher. So yeah, we'll have a look here, see what we can do. The issue, as I say, is money, but who knows? Maybe we can, yeah, maybe we can move some things around and see what happens. And what does Jacob deGrom end up wanting? Is he even here? Here he is here. He still wants 9.5 million, so good luck to him. All right, we have completed 2 trades, and I think these are good ones for us. The first one with Tampa Bay, we have given up Yeremy Abad. Now, we have a lot of these sorts of pitchers, so this is who they wanted. They came to us with a deal, and the player we got is left arm starter / long reliever Ian Seymour. Now he's on 1.7, which is a little bit more than ideally I'd like, but we only have Basso as a left arm in the bullpen right now, so I thought this was a good opportunity to to bring in another left arm. We have traded away and got rid of a couple of players that you would never have heard of that were sort of, they had major league contracts. So the extra $1 million that we're paying here, we've already I've made that back. From getting rid of some infielders that sort of were in a squad but never actually really played for us. So left arm bullpen pitcher, I should say. I think that's going to be absolutely fine for us. And if we go and have a look at the other trade, and this was more about just getting more money out the door, and this breaks the bank even on the other trade. Gunnar Hoagland has left, so his $1.3 million has gone off to the Ragin' Cajuns. And in return, we've got another left-arm pitcher. He's nothing special. Actually, he's not a starting pitcher either. He's very much going to be a reliever for us. But yeah, nothing special, but it is another left arm, and it says Rookie League. I'm not going to be that mean. He's 29. We'll put him at least in AA, but yeah, he's here as well. And if we do need another left arm at some point, we've got it available. Hi, Marinaccio. It's Aussie Villain. Mate, I'm good. Listen, I've got some news for you. Remember how our season finished in Chicago last year? Well, you're going to start your season there as well. So Marinaccio has left us. He has gone to the Cubs. The reason I've done this, then the player we've got in second, third baseman here, it's just a little bit of cover. Again, we're just trying to get the salaries down a little bit. And, well, I'm quite happy to get this guy in. I think he could be a useful player for us at some point. And as I said, Marinaccio has left. Now, the reason that I did this is, I mean, he is obviously still good, but if we have a look at his pitching numbers, just the last couple of seasons. Now, last season his ERA was good. He was very good, as a matter of fact. This season it was not so good. But when I looked at some of these numbers that you guys told me to look at, now, the BAP thing, the BAPIP or whatever it's called, he's been sort of maybe fading away a little bit. Previous seasons, his whip last year was not that much different to the season before. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe he's just on the way out. He may not be, but we do have a lot of good bullpen pitchers right now. He is one of the older ones, so I just thought let's move him on. He was annoying me a little bit last season as well. So yeah, he has left. Now, some other news is that we got our man, so Narugumi Sasaki has joined us. Now we've signed him. It's a little bit. I've gone all like professional baseball manager on this contract deal because we didn't have much room for free agents this season. So we've got 1.8 for this season, and then we've got the next 4 years at 5.8. So that works, and I kind of juggled things around so that the numbers worked for us. So I'm hoping we all know that we need a better starting pitchers just in general. I'm hoping this guy is going to be a really solid sort of 3, 4, 5 guy in the rotation. We'll sort of pencil him in for number 5 this season and see how he goes. It says his personality lacks an edge. Hopefully that's not going to make too much of a difference for us, and he's going to come in and take MLB by storm. And we've got a few Japanese players around now. You know, we've got Otani and Takazawa as well, so he should fit right in. Let's hope that yeah, he does as well as the other two have. Alright, it is Rule 5 draft time. Now we can see the draft pool here. There's no one really of overall potential that is going to really improve us. It's mostly pitchers as it tends to be, and our pitching is strong enough as it is. We've actually got one of the top guys there is one of our guys. If we look at potential, there is a catcher here that I'm very tempted. Do we get him and just make him backup catcher for a season? You know what, I'm actually thinking let's do that. He's a decent enough catcher. He could be quite good. And there's potential there. I've talked myself into it. So we are going to take part. We're going to try and get Zeon Rose in, and we're going to try and get him in as a backup catcher. So let's start the draft. And we will auto-pick until it is our pick. And then hopefully... we've lost someone. Cameron Corley. Now, have I just missed the whole draft there? I mean, that's not ideal, but it's okay. All right, that's fine. Let's go back to the top. It is our pick. Zeon Rose. In you come, mate. And yeah. He can be the backup catcher for this season, and like I say, if he does it, he just goes back if he has no business being here. But there we go. That will be all that we do in the draft. I don't have any interest in doing anything else. All right, a quick update on the Hall of Fame voting. There are 4 inductees, all first-year players. 2 of them Tigers, Cabrera and Verlander, as well as Albert Pujols and Zach Greene. I don't know who that is, actually, but Greinke. Ichiro just missed out. And then the players who were dropped, Andy Pettit, after 10 years. Has he been retired? Oh, we're in the future, aren't we? This hasn't been retired 10 years. And Encarnacion, Chase Utley, Oliver Perez, David Robinson, Dustin Pedroza. Was he, well, Pedroia, was he played for the Red Sox? Zimmerman, Leroy, and Sergio Romo are all dropped. Thankfully, no one had the indignity of not having anybody vote for them. So, yeah, there we go. 4 inductees into the Hall of Fame. Okay, we are at the start of spring training, and we have an issue. Now, here's the problem. We have both Otani and Riley Greene that are free agents at the end of this year. You can see they both want big money, some bigger than other. I mean, I just don't think we can afford to keep Riley Greene with that. And if we go and have a look at the money that we have money for free agents, but nothing for extensions. And so here is the question for the class. Do we just go all out this season? This is the year we're going to try and win the World Series, and we hang on to them, accepting the fact that we will lose them both to free agency, and in all likelihood, we will just lose them. Or do we look to trade them and sort of go from there? Now, I did shop Otani around. Greene is probably the one that is... I mean, there's almost no chance of us being able to keep him, is there? So if we do shop him around... now, I do have sort of a thing right now looking for second baseman. I don't know why, and starting pitchers. So if we just go down to sort of generally speaking, there's not... I mean, there's good players there, obviously, but it's good players on big money as well. So we're kind of going to be trading one big salary for another one. I mean, yes, you could argue that we'd be keeping guys for longer, like Bobby Witt Jr. is quite good, isn't he? But 22.4 million for 5 years. I mean, it's kind of beyond our means anyway. So there's a big part of me that thinks, let's go big this year. We accept that they're going, and that's that. But then equally, are we sort of putting a short-term potential gain, in place of a long-term loss? And that is where I'm not completely sure. Not completely sure what we do. Now, one other thing, I can't remember if I told you that we traded Manoah, but Manoah has left as well. It was just getting rid of his salary to keep and getting a minor league contract in. So yeah, let me know what you think of that. Do we go all out, or do we just sort of keep things try and keep things together here? So this is the team as I see it so far. Let's start with the lineup. So Abrams, as ever, would be leading us off, playing at second base. He was good the end of last season, a very poor start, of course. He should be better this year. Let's hope so anyway. We'll have Vera coming in to play third base, where he played in the postseason. Again, he was quite good there. So I see no reason to change that. And of course, Crawford has left. He was a free agent, so he effectively just comes in to replace him. At right field right now, and batting 3 would be Ohtani. I mean, there's no doubt that he's a wonderful player. It's just whether we accept that he's off at the end of the year and we lose him for nothing. Vega, we're going to hang on to. Looks like he may have declined a little bit. The thing is that he's on minimum wage, so he's very easy to keep. I do wonder if he is going to start declining. Say he's declining. They don't. Obviously, our head scout with knowing better. Do we shop him around and see what we get? I know there was talk in the Discord of maybe looking to shop him around. The issue, of course, is that we don't need pitches just now. So I wonder if... I mean, the issue is that it's the wage, isn't it? I mean, he's a designated hitter, so we could... we have a bit of freedom there with what we could do with him. So maybe we need to have a bit of a look at that. There goes the Discord again, just talking about... link to the descriptions in the Discord, by the way. We've got who we've got there, Dave Mort and Will, currently discussing our lineup and whether we need to trade someone like Vega to improve the pitching. So yeah, there we go. That is that. There's no one there that is... I've got to catch you on big money that can hit, though. Free agent in a couple of years. I mean, that could be worthwhile doing, couldn't it? Oh, what's this? This is remaining salary. So he's got an extension already lined up. That's what that means, I take it. So he's going to be on even bigger money. Yeah, I just don't know what to do with this one. But anyway, for now, we have him as a designated hitter and cleaning up. We have Keston Hiura at first base and batting 5 like he did last season. I wonder if we could try trading him. He's on $5 million now. That might be something we could do. Left field, well, actually, left field will come in and be Riley Greene. It won't be Cabrera. Then we've got Takazawa in center field. I'm quite happy with him. I know there's a little bit of discussion whether or not we keep him. Like I say, I'm happy with him. I think he does a good job for us. We've got Lopez at shortstop. He's been batting better and better each season, so I'm hoping that we continue to see that develop. And then the catcher right now would be Blake Hunt. I did look at catcher ERA, and he's been outperforming other catchers that we've had. And of course, we have Zion Rose now to back him up. The pitching rotation, we've got Josh Eknes as the number 1 man. The attributes suggest he should be up to the task, so let's see that. Hope that does indeed come to fruition. Andrew Walling has been Mr. Consistent for us. He will be number 2 in the rotation. We've got Contreras, who signed a contract extension. He'll be number 3. Again, attribute-wise, he should be quite good. Number 4 in the rotation will be Branton Gurton, the man that we traded to get in this off-season. And number 4 in the rotation will be our Japanese free agent, Sasaki, or Sasaki. I'm not quite sure how you say that. But either way, let's hope he's a success. The bullpen, Will Klein comes back in to be closer. He has been nothing short of brilliant for us in that role, so that's why we got rid of Gillespie. The 2 setup guys, we're looking at Holden Powell and then also Indigo Diaz, who did well when he came in last season, so let's hope that continues. Middle relief, now there is 1 middle relief place up for grabs, basically, in spring training, so Brady Basso as a left armor. Then we've got Reese Olson, who I thought did quite well last season. And we've also got in middle relief Denny Hines, who maybe shouldn't be in middle relief. And he did well last year, so I'm sort of hesitant to drop him back to AAA, but we'll see what happens with him. And then the long relievers, we've got Mike Ruff, who just does a brilliant job for us. We've tried him as a starter. He hasn't really worked as a starter. He is just much better in the bullpen for whatever reason. And the other long reliever will be the other left armor, Ian Seymour, and then another one that we traded for this off-season. So there we go. That's the team that we have. We've got spring training to come. Let me know what you think of it, where we can improve. Yeah, and the big question is Ohtani and Greene. What do we do with Ohtani and Greene? I'm asking for your help on that one. I just don't know. If you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time for opening day. And opening day this season is against the Texas Rangers. Take care.